Hey everyone, thanks for joining us at Wave Podcast. So Wave's tied to the Ride the Wave Foundation. We empower people by providing free training to people seeking purpose. So anyone that's homeless, going through a hard time on the street, they could come in, get practical training, business type skills like how to find a purpose, positive leadership, mental health strategies. And on the flip side, providing training to people in middle to upper class to have the skills to be able to approach people in the streets they normally wouldn't. I'm Jeff Fisher. Let's ride the wave. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Jeff Fisher. Welcome to the Wave Podcast.
I'm Mark Robinson, your co-host.
Nice to see everybody. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
How you go?
Good. Everything's going well. With us today is a friend. His name is Tatum. Tatum, welcome.
All right. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us. And I met Tatum at my apartment complex, and we became friends, went to dinner. And one thing I did discover by talking with Tatum, is very talented, and I'm honored that he's on the show. And thank you for coming again. I really appreciate you coming on board. Like I said, to give you a platform with your talent, it's really...
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
It really is an honor. Thank you so much.
And like you said, we become friends, like there's a lot of, things I got in my head that, I think can actually help people just to be more of themselves,
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And if you want to start off wherever you would like to, just tell us about yourself, background, anything.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Somerville, I've been in there. I have a lot of family, huge family, we been around for decades and it's almost century, my grandmother, she's still here, so I mean, the family is just continuously growing.
Yeah, that's good.
We have a lot of athletes in our family, we all love sports.
Yeah.
So I mean, we get together, for different times.
Good. I remember you showed me that one time. You had a photograph, and it was I think it was a reunion of your family, and there were so many people.
Yeah, and I told you that was just my first cousins.
I know, and it was amazing too. Every single person in the photo that he showed me was smiling. They genuinely looked like. How many people were there?
It had at least say about 68 in that picture.
Yeah,
and it's probably about 25 still missing out of that picture.
Wow.
So, it's really a big family. My grandmother, she comes from 19 kids. 19 that survived.
Wow.
Then she had 9 on her own, so and then just expanded from there. Everyone had a kid, whether it was one, even if it's one, it's still a big family. But, my aunt, she had 13. My other uncle, he had 4 or 5, So it was everybody was just happy.
It's a big family.
It's a lot of people.
I know.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it looked fun. I mean, it really did. At least the people were positive and stuff like that.
It's a positive vibe all the time. We have another one coming up this year, in August. But it's always a positive vibe. We always, congratulate the kids that graduated that school year.
Nice.
So. We mourn the death, the losses that we may have had this year. We do make spiritual dance tributes, so that younger kids can meet their elder aunties and stuff like that. So we get a bowling night together so that everybody can come together and So
how important do you think that is for people to spend that quality time with family?
When they say it takes a village, they really mean it. For real, and it's people can actually take it for granted or, and it's all a matter of just kind of focus.
Yeah. Did they help you through any challenges you've had in your life too? And for support?
Absolutely. I was young, I'd made plenty of mistakes in my life. So, made a lot of dumb choices, probably is why I talk about the things I do talk about, because I know the dumb choices I made. I know the dumb things I did. So it's here's a little warning for you, you don't have to take that path. Just use your brain.
So you think that everything is leading up to, or whatever happened in your past, now you're in a position where you want to extend a hand and help.
Definitely.
Do you focus on youth?
Absolutely.
You have
absolutely
a foundation, correct?
Yeah.
What's a foundation?
It's called PERC. It's like PERC.
Yeah.
It's under an ORG, but yeah, it stands for like promoting effective, responsible choices.
I love that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And what exactly do you do?
We just, try to, I guess, like just open your mind to get you to feel a confidence in yourself, like that there's nothing out there like really that's stopping you. Before, like even like generation before, someone always had an excuse. We're trying to like teach to not give yourself any excuses, not to do what you want to do in your life. Like, so, yeah.
Okay. So sort of confidence boost.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Nice. And I do like that name. And I was talking to you about it too. And Tatum is a man that is really talented, has a way with words. I mean, the way you spin words and things like that. You do something unique, which I haven't heard of. You mentioned spoken word, and when we were at dinner, you were doing that too, and that was it was really, really cool how you do that.
And a lot of it, it's just my life. Like I'm just actually telling you, like I said, some of the dumb choices I made, some of the places I've ended up.
Yeah, you want to go into any specifics?
I mean, I'm an open book, so I'm not really hiding nothing, because I'm so comfortable with the person I've become.
Yeah, because somebody can learn. So
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, we got a lot of athletes. So I played sports all my life. I mean, I was pretty good athlete. So I was like, captain, of all the teams. It's like, getting whether pick up ball or whatever. Like, they would still, want me to be captain of to make who's gonna pick who, and whether we were in school. Like, I told them one year, like, if I'm not the captain, I quit. So. Yeah, well, we ended up winning the championship that year too.
Nice.
And we had went 0-9 the year before that, so it was like that felt really good.
What position?
I played linebacker.
Linebacker.
Nice.
And tight end, but tight end was just mainly for me to block, for my boys to run, go get to the hole, like Yeah, I mean, I played running back growing up too, but when we we got older, it was like, all right, we got to play more of as a team, Somebody else gonna have to sacrifice not getting the ball because we need somebody to block.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. So what ended up transpiring through your career or your playing the game?
I mean, and like I said, a lot of dumb choices in my life. Even in high school, it was like, in the streets, hustling drugs. So I got caught up in that for a while, like my junior year, the year that we won the championship, I ended up becoming ineligible for my senior year, not even for my grades though. It was like for, over and absences. So I got a whole incomplete for the grade, and it was like,
were you not meeting the curfew, or were you out too late and stuff like that with coaches? Were you getting in trouble? Or
oh yeah, I got in trouble. I got in a lot of trouble. I did.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of trouble, with my mom. With my mom, she was such a strong person. She just wanted to know that I was all right. Like she would allow me to, go ahead and
be you,
grow up. Yeah, grow up. You're only gonna learn it if you're out there anyway. So it's like, grow up. You're gonna have to learn to make your own choices one day anyway. So she allowed me to do a lot of things. So
yeah, it's great.
I made my own choices, but then I would get in trouble. But then she was, she made a lot of sense too, and I didn't realize that until I became a parent. So
you had to learn the hard way there, unfortunately.
That's usually when it happens. That's usually when it happens. When you become what your parents was, then you see.
Yeah. The older you get, you realize what they meant. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so football, there's trouble.
Yeah.
What led you to where you're at now, or what happened after?
I went to prison for about 3.5 years, and that was like the corniest experience I've ever faced in my life. Like, because like I said, growing up, I was a champion. I was a winner. Like prison, like loser, like just written it all over. Like I'm not supposed to be here, and I know it, but I got to take accountability for things I was doing out there. So
yeah, that's good that you were taking accountability though, and not just blaming other people or anything like that.
Hey,
So
now, if
Right.
I blamed everybody for not being able to play football my senior year too. Like, I mean, for a while, it affected me very, very hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was getting offers from different schools all over the country. And I had a coach that he loved my work ethic. He said, I'll put the word in for you. Like, I'll talk to whoever you need to be talked to. So it was like, had the opportunity, but then I was kind of messed it up my own self. But I was mad at the world for it.
What was the draw really for you to do that? Was it money, or was there a thrill to it? Was there something that...
It's definitely a thrill to be in the streets.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely a whole thrill, like, just being able to get what you want whenever you want it. Like, you don't have to ask nobody for nothing. Like, this is all mine. This is mine. Mine's mine. And it's a young mentality because you realize, like I said, you get older and realize it's not just about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
do you think one of the hardest part was seeing that, how it affect your family? Because you have such a strong bond with them in a large family that cares about you.
Yeah.
So do you think in the end that was the hardest part?
Yeah, that was hard, but my family made it a whole lot easier. I mean, I think in the 3.5 years that I was down there in prison, I think I missed like 2 visits. And one was because like the weather, that they couldn't drive or it was snow out there. So I was like, but I think I missed 2 visits like the whole time. So they were really supportive, and then I had friends, that, they would take 1 week and then my parents would take the next week. And so I was like twice a month, I got to see each of my friends and then get to see my parents. And, my son was born at that time too. I was in prison, or he was 3 when I went to prison. But
that had to be hard.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
That was really hard.
You're such a great guy, too, good guy. Yeah, I guess it really just goes to show anybody could, doesn't matter, you could fall into that path. And I respect the fact that what you're doing now with kids and really trying to circle back or look back and bring somebody up, or maybe help to prevent somebody from not going through what you did and squandering something that was just so great for you.
And I'm proud now, because I got my son when I came home. He had turned 6 years old, so for him, he's going to turn 27 like in May. So it's like for him to sit there and be able to listen and just take heed of the things I'm saying to him, like, and just to use his brain in the way he can get everything that he wants out of his life, and not put the obstacles in the way of, because we all got to take accountability for him. So like, I'm sure he makes mistakes too. We all do, ain't none of us perfect. So it's like,
right, man. Absolutely.
But yeah, being able to see him not take that same pattern, like, thinking this is what's up, because it's not. I mean, and then when you get there, you realize like this is not what's up.
For real. For real.
I gotta do better than this, and for myself, and like it's embarrassing, for your family, for yourself, like it is, but you keep moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's great that you made the best that you could after. And when you were there, is that when you started to write more? Did you get into spoken word in more depth, or was that prior? And then
I was always a writer. I wrote in middle school. I wrote in high school. I mean, when I wrote in middle school, I wrote a poem, for the 8th grade graduation, and do 8th grade. So they try to choose maybe 3 people. The student council president is going to speak. Someone else is going to speak, and then someone else is going to speak. But I changed tradition because after that, someone read a poem every year after that, because they like, we can't just not pick him. Maybe his speech wasn't the best, but this poem has to be in here. We're doing this at graduation, so.
Nice. Can you tell people in the audience that may not know what spoken word is? Because I wasn't familiar with it, like I said. I didn't know exactly what it was, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it's more just like inside of what you feel about yourself, like what you feel about the world, how you see it. It's just more just like a feeling of how you take things, and then you're just announcing it out to people how you see the world. I mean, there's going to be people that disagree or whatever. There's going to be people that, that's not true. But I speak
Okay.
coming from me, you know,
Right. So
things I've been through.
it could be something, or some people could do it where they might be making something up. So you're saying that's the way you get your truth out. Do you feel like that's the way you're expressing all of yourself? Is there like a spiritual aspect to it? Is there a release, a therapeutic aspect? What is it? How does it make you feel when you're doing it?
I mean, it comes like when it comes sometimes, you know, like I might just be sitting there and I like that I said something in my head. Oh, I like the way that sounds. So I'll just get a pen and paper and just start writing. And then, you know, maybe I might get 2-3 lines down and then like, all right, I'm done for right now.
Yeah.
You know, but then sometimes I might write a whole page and a whole page and a half. Like, I got things to say. Oh, and this goes with this. Oh, and this goes right in there. Yeah.
Nice. Can you give us a verse?
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Let's hear it.
This one I like because it goes like on a loop. Like once it ends, it's supposed to like start all over again where it ends. It says, remember these days while still living in his image. All those times they said shit is real, they wasn't kidding. Everything is right in front of your face. Nothing is hidden. If it's all about the choices you make, then it's all about the effort you've given. Somebody's slipping. If it's real, people know it's real, because that's just how we do. You worrying about what others do, then you're not being you. You ain't being squad. You ain't being crew. Look at how I do. I used to be a player, but now I'm here coaching you. You need to focus, dude. You need a sec or two. If I can show you anything, I can show you what respect to do. Do what your mama say, because she know the way. You know what they gonna say? Back in the day. Remember these days while still living in his image. All those times they said, it's real, they wasn't kidding. It's like, you know, you're gonna listen to your mother and she's gonna tell you like, well, this is how it was for me back in the day. So one day you're gonna be there and you're gonna have a back in the day that you're gonna talk about. So you gotta remember these days that right now that you're going through, because when you're there, you're gonna have something to talk about.
I love that. It's powerful.
Right?
I got chills. That's how I felt when you were doing some even other verses too, just like that. I also too, it's interesting because I feel like it's relatable on all bounds because you mix in certain things from your experience, but it hits. Like, what'd you think, Mark?
Yeah.
You think about that. It's interesting, right?
Interesting, and it definitely hit home. You know what I mean? It like you can definitely tell that coming from you, yeah, you can definitely tell that you put your heart into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're carefully
thought about that, you know,
right.
Line after line.
You feel your spirit. You can definitely tell you're passionate, and it's you're coming from a place of truth. With something like this, can you go with another one? Am I asking too much? I want to listen to it the whole time. Yeah, you could tell like it's coming from a place because what I've seen from movies and stuff like that, slam poetry and things like that, but it's different than that. Like it seems, but the way that you tie in the words is very interesting. How they come back around. It's
almost like you're rhyming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is. You're rhyming.
But it's rhyming, it's the same.
But
because you can just get mixed up and just rhyming whatever, and it's like not telling the truth of the thing, like not the whole story of it. Like that's why it's like it's more of a story of like my story. So
go for it.
Spoken word is like it's more in depth of coming from the person, who the person is.
Yeah, that's interesting. I love that.
Check this one out. We got this lifestyle in today's world. They think it's cool to have a big body Benz before you graduate school. And nowadays, kids barely finish the 8th grade. They only 14 talking about they need to get paid. And I'll admit it, back in the day, I was with it. If you gave me the same opportunity, I would have did it. And I done it. Introduced to the game by older cousins, trying to make myself to look like somebody I really wasn't. And it cost me some years of my life. I realized, but I'm grateful, because out in them streets, I'm about to die. Now these young boys is carrying heat and stealing rides out there, busting like they ready to do like 25. And it's scary because young girls is doing the same, giving what's between their legs to make them a name. You get a couple ballers in it and she making some change, buy some rings, get a weave, and she thinks she the bomb because she copped a couple outfits from Louis Vuitton, and the oldest man she slept with, damn near 29, man at 14, chicks barely knew how to grind. Let alone all the youngins we seen on Jenny Jones. It's in our face now. Most of our hoods and in our homes. They don't plan to stop. Some till they dead and in the hearse. You think it's bad now? Given time, it's about to get worse.
Yeah, you're talented. I feel like it's unacceptable that outside of your family and friends, nobody's really, I'm so glad. And really, to everybody out there, you know, it is amazing. And as the wave keeps going and we go through these interactions and the relationship end of the principles we're trying to put forth takes place, I'm realizing just how someone like yourself, so talented, underneath, I would never, if I didn't meet you at the apartment or we didn't interact, I would not have known that you have this. And that's what's transformative. It's just, and then I think to myself, how many people do I pass by, or how many people am I interacting that have a hidden talent too? So this also could be a space, not only for people to share their stories or foundations, things like that, but also to showcase certain talents that people do have and stuff, right?
Right. Right.
It's really
See,
cool.
you have spoken word. I have my sketches, my I call it what I call it.
It was like classic sketch.
Classic old fashioned hand sketching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody would have I have a bit of a creative process for ideas and things like that when it comes to vision and also putting together presentations and things. So I think that everybody has a creative aspect if they tap into it. So but everybody's different. Like your creative process would be completely different than Mark's.
I mean, it's just
Or
like
maybe
I'm
not.
saying, like tapping in within yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, there's nobody that's perfect. So we're all just practicing to be better. You're not gonna reach. Nobody's gonna reach perfect. If there wasn't perfect, then we'd already known. Someone would have reached it. Someone would have did it already. You know, so we just try to be better people. That's it.
But you're teaching a lesson. There's a lesson in there for people to get.
Yeah.
Too. So it
I
comes
do
across.
this exercise too to try to help people get within their self. Like, you know, we learn like in like maybe kindergarten, you know, how to use our senses, you know, because the teacher's always asking you like, well, where's your nose? Like, you know, they got the kids always pointing in their nose, but you know what you do with your nose. Like, where's your eyes?
Head,
You know?
shoulders, knees, and toes.
Exactly. You know, they always teach. So it's like you learn these 5 senses like real early in your life and know what you're using them for.
Right.
You know, and then you get into maybe like 1st or 2nd grade and they try to tell you like who is who and this is the 5 W's of who and what and where and when and why. You know, and then I also say this like because you know they say sometimes how too. And I try to leave the how out because I tell myself like no, how is not a question.
Right.
It's a solution.
What do you mean by that?
It's a solution.
How?
How is you? How is you? What's gonna happen? How it's gonna get done is you.
Okay.
You know, the questions are what, when, where, when you're gonna do this. I mean, those are the questions. But how it gets done is you.
Oh, that's a very interesting way of putting that.
Right. Right.
So like the how is your proactive spirit.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
you. The
doing
action
it.
part. You have
The
to
action,
do that.
wearing the shoes.
Who, what, when, where, why, and then how.
But the how is
But that-
you.
Right.
So that's something that you will mention or teach in
Yeah.
your foundation too.
Absolutely.
So that's a unique way of
Yeah,
learning.
and
That's really
teaching
cool.
that because you got your 5 senses now, right? Now you got your 5 W's, and you take those and you put them together. I mean, not just put them together. I mean, use your brain while you're putting them together, but then maximize it by like thousands. You know, now it's like, damn, I can remember. Wait, how far back can I remember? Like you can remember a lot. You can remember all the bad things you did when maybe got your bully on, or maybe when you said something that you probably shouldn't have said, or or you let someone else get away with saying something to you that you probably shouldn't have happened. But that's like now you can sit there and actually maximize and you know who it was, you know when it happened.
So are you talking
why
about
it happened?
Why it happened?
Where it happened?
Where it happened at?
When?
But how? What did happen at it?
Right.
What
did you do then to make it or to contribute to it? Is that what you're saying? So when you do this exercise and combine those, is it in a workbook style? Are they writing something down?
I want them to do it in their mind, in their head.
And do you? So it's really taking a specific situation or issue that they have. They pick that out.
Yeah. And
then they go into those specific things in their mind.
Because they can
that's cool.
Now they can answer the questions for themselves. And I'll tell them don't give yourself any excuses. For real, don't give yourself excuses. You don't expect anything, and you do something about it. For real. I got that from Vince Lombardi though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Great coach.
Absolutely.
Wise man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's great. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think I've never heard it like that before.
It's unique, and told you, wordsmith. We're tying that in. So is there anything else like that? The lessons that you're teaching, is that a bunch of it?
I tell them there's yes and then no, and it's you do or you don't, but don't lie to yourself. You have to be honest with yourself when you actually maximize these where and your 5 senses, the things you've seen, the things you've heard. When you actually maximize it and where you heard this from, how you remember this. Now don't lie. Now you can't lie now. You got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You do or you don't, and don't make it any more difficult than that. Get to know yourself. You're not here. You don't have to impress anybody else. You're here for you to be a better person.
How do kids respond to that? Because right now, the way you're speaking, and I can feel you're serious like that. Absolutely. I feel like if I was a young person and I was in a situation where I was doing wrong and needed to, I would fully listen to that. So what is normally your response with that? How to kids react? Do they, when they get a connection with you, are they fully invested in the program?
Absolutely. They love it, and then it helps whatever, because they like to pass it on. Yeah. They actually learn something, that actually helps. So they like to, pass it on. And then, it calms them down, from making wrong choices, now they can hang with a certain group of people, whatever, that they know they're not in trouble, or that's just, I don't want to be a part of that group. Nothing against you guys, but I'm making a choice for myself.
Yeah, it's a really good way of analyzing in a way that's simple enough to get you going without having to write things down and answer a bunch of questions. Because I could be a nerd like that. I like workbooks and doing that, but I really like that. And then, so how many kids do you guys have? Are you in the early stages of growth?
Yeah, it's in the early stages. We used to have a program, after school program, but things happen, floods, but. Do
you have a website?
Actually, that got shut down too. It's been down for a little while. So I really want to get it back on up. But it's right now it's just kind of like my working with my sons. So we're just trying to, get a new platform with the same, kind of.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Hey, look, we're Mark, right? Every day I got a little office with 3 desks in the den in my apartment right now. So we're working small, but we're doing small room stuff and trying to build. So I completely get that. And do you have any contact information? So if there's somebody that's interested and anyone that could support this great cause, absolutely. Do you have contact information are you able to take donations, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah. What's your info?
Definitely. Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm Tatum Williams. TATUM WILLIAMS. On Instagram, I'm King Tatum, KINGGTATUM. And I think that's about it.
All right, nice. For anyone that doesn't get it, or is there any kids that just they're not feeling it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always gonna be knuckleheads. You know, there's always gonna be a hard headed. You know, got to learn the hard way. You know, but life, and that's just how it goes. Life and learning is like it's just repetition. You know, so it's like I'm not gonna give up on you. I mean, because my word is not gonna change. Every time you come to me, I'm gonna tell you pretty much the same thing I've been telling you. You know, it's just gonna take a minute for it to click.
Yeah, and everybody, something hits different for everyone.
Yeah.
I think not everybody's going to be into...
And, you know, you don't want to rub it in no one's face. Like, didn't I tell you was going down there? Because, you know, but I write stuff like that, you know. Like, you on the wrong road, homie. Is you trying to get off? You in the stronghold, homie. Don't you know who the boss? I know you been told, homie, how to G off and floss, but for me, I want to save your ass before you get lost. It's been a tough struggle. Life ain't always silver and gold. It ain't that fairy tale talk that you always been told. You got two sides. What you gonna choose determine life. Either God, either Satan, gonna determine what's right. I know God, and the Lord I know ain't into pretending. Plus this world we living in, showing sign of it ending. Nowadays, you better watch out for the people you friend, and everything ain't always gonna be the way you intended. You burn bridges, and now I think it's time that you mend it and stop acting like you that, and you so independent. Can I finish? Before you state your case and start interrupting, we in the last days and we ain't got much time for the fronting. I know plenty cats that rather go out pumping and busting, and another few that rather go out humping and lusting. When it boiled down, all come down to who you was trusting, who you believe. While you was here, what you achieved. And with God, he came today. Is you ready to leave? And if so, then tell me then which way would you go? Because we all aiming for heaven, but hey, you never know.
Wow. Yeah, I feel that. That is powerful. That's amazing. That was a great one.
Absolutely.
That was nice.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I'm trying to think. I think for the first time, I'm stumped on what to ask. That was amazing. Because there was there was so much involved in that, right? I mean, there was so many different facets to something like that.
Yeah, I said when I can speak,
and it wasn't that
my
long.
life, or whatever. Like, and throw the message out there. It's like I'm not putting that at a direct person or a direct kind of group. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. Right. Everybody can take something from this because.
That's what I love about it.
Everybody can relate somewhere in there, for real.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. And it's the way you're delivering it, like we said before, with the passion that you do. It's I just want to hear like that the whole time, to be honest.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's great. Right? What do you think, Mark?
Like once you hear it, like it's like it draws you in. It's like
it does. You can feel it.
Yeah. It literally draws you in, and then once you're in, you're stuck.
Yeah, I love that. It's so
like once
cool.
You're in,
it's so cool.
You're stuck. Because as he was saying, I'm just sitting here like,
that's exactly what it's supposed to do. For real. And I'm going on to my next line, but you still in the last line, like, wow, you know what? Wow, he's right. It's not to be right. It's just I'm only telling you what I've been through. Maybe it helps someone else.
Yeah,
but I'm not doing it to be right.
But you're also pointing out the seriousness of things that are happening and the way things are going. You're sounding an alarm in a way that, it just comes across and it's genuine.
Absolutely. This one says, explain to me, man, how we live to get by when black on black crime is at an all-time high. Speaking of high, my uncle's still doing his time. Man, I told them, don't serve him. And they just ignore I. You can live that lie thinking it ain't that bad, but only when compared to R and Mike's dad. I thought about the forces and took the ASVAB till they found out I had a felony, man, and that's that. Or any drug, cuz, man, it does what it does. I done turned it up. I'm getting more high than buzzed. In my lifetime, I done seen some stuff. They said that I was going to die, and I done called some bluffs. I done seen enough. Hope I ain't just living to die. But the real question is, if I'm ready to die. I know God, he got a plan to help the survival and save me from all enemies and my rivals. Believe me, it's written. It's all in the Bible. Don't have it come crashing like 99 bottles. Yeah, we got some players where they know all the plays, but man, God works in some mysterious ways. It's like the lotto. Your winnings just numbered in days.
Nice ending. Very cool. And
you gotta respect your days. I mean, for real, like respect your days, because I mean, I just lost my mom last year.
Sorry about that.
You know, so it was like, and it was just sudden, like just out of nowhere. I was just gave my mom a kiss the night before, told her I love her, and then the next day it was like, what? Wait, my mom? Yeah, it was rough.
Unexpected.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how I felt when my pops passed.
Yeah. Do you feel like she's with you?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
She is proud. Because
Absolutely.
what you're doing, Tatum,
Absolutely.
you're an amazing person. And I really meant it when I say that as an honor to have you come on to be this. Because when I went to dinner with you, I really felt like you're genuinely a good person and genuinely talented and have such a great story that people could learn from. And just the way you explained how you're teaching young people is very unique and it's very good. So, everybody who's out there, and it's been brought up before, if you have something within you that's unique, put it out there and try and do that. And I mean, we'll fully support what you have going on with your cause too. I think like maybe ride the wave. Maybe we could work together in some capacity later as we both grow.
We'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you mentioned the Culture Shock event last episode. That was really cool.
Yeah.
There's many things that. Yeah. I think that's really cool. And you personally, so for you, when you got out of prison, you're with your son.
Yeah.
You're back on track there.
Yeah.
Did you fall back at all, or it really was you stayed on track? You're like, I'm not going to do it again. Nothing like that.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I told myself that I would never forget the experience. So it's like I was always going to put God first from now on. And I'm going to make sure I'm paying attention to my situations and making the best choice for myself. So yeah, it's tough. You get down on yourself sometimes, whatever. So I don't look at it as like falling back. It's just like keep moving forward. Like, right now you just stagnant. I tell people like, it's like we're going down the road and your choices is left and right. I said, you can make the left choice, whatever, and end up being the wrong choice, and it's like a cul-de-sac. You're gonna have to come back to get yourself together. You're gonna have to come back. I think, and then you can sit there and make that left and make the wrong choice all over again. But this time you did a little bit better. But it was still a cul-de-sac at the end of the road. And then when you come back to try to get yourself back together, you still gotta face all these things that you did in that wrong choice. I said, but when you make the right choice, nobody's rushing you to go fast. You can take your time. This is the right choice. You know it's down there. Go this way and take your time. Nobody's rushing you to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
powerful.
Really, yeah, I think it's great. Is there any examples of the way how you were tying in the words before with how being proactive and doing that? Is there something, or towards the end, that allows any kids to, what could we do differently after? Or could that be an add-on? So you're figuring out how you got there, what you did.
Absolutely.
Is there something in their minds that says, all right, well, what could I have done differently? Or the next time, what am I doing differently?
I mean,
in a way to wrap it around like that.
I mean, because it starts like with PERC, like I said, you're promoting effective, responsible choices. I said, and the kids get older, so some of them definitely want to help out. They get the message, they want to pass it on themselves. So the next one is like help. You're here to help now. This is your new role in this PERC program. This is your new role is to help. And like we was talking about earlier, Knuckleheads, some of them, they're going to continue to do what they do anyway. But the help stands for hitting every level possible.
Nice.
So once you get the PERC and you're making the right choices, like, okay, now you can help because you can bring people up to your speed.
And you know what's great about that there's nothing more fulfilling than serving others and be in a position of strength to do that. So you're indirectly driving somebody towards that.
Yeah,
you're just kind of coasting them
on you. You know, I can tell you about it, but I'm throwing all this options on you. You know, for real. You can start making right choices for yourself. You know, and then, you know, you can hit every level possible, you know, with some help. You know, and like I said, the Knuckleheads, you know, so some of them.
I love Knuckleheads, by the way. I love Knuckleheads.
You gotta love them too. You gotta love them too.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't stop. You know, you gotta keep going anyway. So it's like, all right, stop. You know, just stop. You need to stop. But stop stands for so there's other possibilities. Yes, there are. You don't have to keep doing, like I said, the left turn. You don't have to keep making that left turn. There are other possibilities. So stop. You know, let's start all over. Let's start making the right choices. Let's start helping and get these people to stop. Stop. So there's other possibilities,
What phase is it in the program are you at? Is it developed? Do you have the program complete?
It's like, you know, PERC. Now, I try to do it from, I mean, you can start as early as from when kids can understand, you know, words and the words that you're talking about. Like, so.
But the layout itself, the classroom aspect, or do you have documentation? Do you have a video, or are you doing that? Or is how do you meet with the
well, you
kids?
go through different, you know, maybe like at youth programs.
At youth, okay.
Yeah.
So you're going there. Gotcha.
You know, you can go up to like probations, you know.
So you're going places.
Go to probation, you know, get the kids from, the young kids, maybe like adolescents, you know, 10 years old. You can be on probation early, so 10 to 17.
You could be on probation when you're 10.
Oh, absolutely.
I figured they'd give you a community service and write a letter or something. For probation.
Yes. I had a friend of mine burned down the jungle gym. He was on probation.
Burned down a jungle gym?
He was on probation at 10 years old,
Wow. Yeah, I guess. Right? When you're doing something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he was just playing with the matches, you know, but.
Oh, okay. He didn't intentionally do it.
He didn't intentionally do it, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, still, you got to face your consequences, you know, take accountability for everything. Like,
have you ever straight up changed somebody's life and know it right away, made an impact where they turned it around completely?
I can't say like immediately, but it kind of hits you the same way you guys. The way you guys just took it, like, oh, I wasn't looking at it like that. You know, kind of like I get that. I get that from a lot of people. Like
eye opener.
Yeah,
it was an eye opener. You know, it was a okay. I like that. I might start using it.
Exactly. That part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the word that perk. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use that.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely using that.
Yeah, I think that's
just to let you know I'm using that.
Absolutely.
I'm using that.
Sure.
Yeah. It's very creative. It's very creative. And you mentioned God a couple times, so I assume you're a man of faith.
Absolutely.
How much does that play a part, the Spirit, in what you're doing and the flow that it does come from in your life?
God comes first, you know, for real. God, you know, family, and you know, after that, you know, we'll see. But God comes first, for sure. I give Him thanks all the time. I mean, I do this thing with my mind, you know, like with the clock, or, you know, you're just looking at your phone. Like right now, I look at the clock, it says 9:06. So I'm thinking like September 6th, you know, and I'm thinking that who would I know on September 6th? You know, I know, okay, that's such and such birthday. You know, God, you know, I'm praying for such and such right now. Be with them, be with their families, you know, just, I mean, you can't like do it on purpose. Like you can, but it's like I catch my birthday a lot of times, you know, but it's not on purpose. It's just like I look at the clock and it happens to be 11:13.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I thank the Lord, you know, for being in my life, for teaching me the things He's taught me, like, you know, for continuing to, you know, keep me on the right path. Because I mean, it's that easy just to go back the other way, you know, like
the smallest thing could turn you.
I know, and I think that when you realize that and you have a relationship with God, that gets turned up You know, the devil starts the, you know that phrase, God knows you, so does the devil?
Yeah, he does. It's true. For real. And
you kind of get tested there because your faith gets tested.
Devil's, he's pulling your hand, telling you to come on. But he's also right there behind you, pushing you at the same time. It's like, you know, you going both ways. You're going both ways, you know, so you got to maintain your peace and what you know in God and how strong God is, you know, because the devil's pulling and pushing. You know, you're not going to come this way. All right, then I'm going to push you. You're going to go that way. Or you're not going to go that way, and I'm going to pull you this way, you know? So he's trying to work both angles. You got to have faith. You have to stay strong on your faith.
How much material do you have? Do you have a lot?
Oh, yes.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since I'm like, I say about 11.
It's fully unacceptable that this is the first time you're doing something like this and putting it out there.
It's
great,
been in
though.
studios before, you know, I've rapped about things, you know, before. Like I said, I've been doing it for like I was 11, you know. Even then I tried to, you know, be myself, but, you know, like you start to talk about, you know, just like the things that are in at the time, you know, like people shooting guns and stuff like that, or, you know, how, but you don't want to glorify selling drugs. You don't want to glorify, you know, actually shooting at somebody or doing the wrong thing, you know. So, you know, you just got to get within your head what you want to talk about and how you want to explain it. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. It makes me want to learn something like that or be able to do it. I don't know. But yeah, it's really cool. And did it amplify being in prison, having that time? Did you really start to get kicked up a level with that during that time? Just
that part it helped so much because I mean I hated being there.
Yeah.
But it taught me how to listen. You know, and then once I actually learned how to listen, you know, then I was like, okay, well, that made it that much more important of what was coming out of my mouth. Because if people are going to be listening to me, then I don't want to lead you in the wrong direction. I mean, who wants to be led in the wrong direction? Like, right. So if I'm going to speak out of my mouth, please let it be something that can edify you, like something that can help you grow. You know, for real. So
speaking life.
Yeah, speak into life. Yeah, speak life. Who mean for real?
Life. Yeah. That's so awesome. Yeah, that's great. What do you think, Mark? What's your opinion on all this? Right?
I'm just taking it all in. I'm taking it in. You know, like
for somebody that's an artist too, and creative, and do that, because I think I might have asked you one time if you had a creative process. I guess does that just kind of filter through? You have an idea, and there's a flow to it when you're drawing. Is there anything with you that, I guess, creative-wise or process-wise that you utilize? If that makes sense, I guess.
It is like when I first start sketching, like I knew how to draw since I knew how. Like I never went to school for drawing or sketching. I never went to school for none of that. But
was that your space to let yourself go or get into something and really focus, do you think?
Yeah, it's meditation. It's therapeutic for me. Yeah. It's meditation for me. Like I could sit and sit for hours and just I visualize before I start drawing, before I start sketching.
Okay, so you'll see in your mind's eye and then start to...
Yeah, and then a lot of times I just go off just freehand. Like I just have a blank piece of paper and I just, as soon as the pen hit the paper, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, and it don't always be stuff that I see. It be stuff that's in my head.
Yeah.
That I want to see on paper.
Yeah. So you're bringing from the inside out into the world.
Absolutely.
Inside out.
Yeah, share your spirit, you know?
Yeah. And what you're doing in the process is you're giving people a program or something that they could help birth that out too.
Yeah.
Or, make that.
Yeah, it's like
kind of inspire them.
Starting your path off, like, for real. Give you a clean path, like, of just knowledge, because knowledge is key, like.
But it's not all sunshines and rainbows. You're also sounding the alarm and you're warning others too. So it's not just cookie cut, polyamorous type positivity. You're saying like there's a real thing here.
Yeah, this
and
is
you
real.
have to take it seriously.
This is
And you can tell
real.
by your voice, you definitely have experienced it, and you genuinely don't want other people to.
Like I said, we could sit here and talk about me, and I'll tell you a couple of rhymes but this one I wrote while I was in prison. It says, I'm a living testimony of these words I speak. It seems it's hard to change when you used to live in the streets. I know you trying to live life. You want to see more money, but the state laughing, talking about, here comes some more dummies. And the other half is back, just being recidivized. Man, I'm tired. I ain't beat to listen to people's lies. I'm trying to go home and stay there. Prison to make you sick. I got a son now. That little boy just turned 6. And I already broke more of his heart than I intended. I'm just hoping that when I get home that I can mend it, because I gave him life. I want to be there till it's finished, so I'm better than running the streets, being a menace. And it seems like life is more hectic than it's supposed to be. Don't ask me why, but I've been called to do some positive things before I pass by. I know that God got a plan for me to prosper. Not only needed to change, but man, I gotta. I refuse to have someone else being my son's father. I know, back in the day, that I made some bad decisions, but I left that man stuck in the bunk, back at the prison.
That one got me. Actually.
Damn.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
Word up. And then
that one.
I got a line that goes behind that I know, like, people that listen to hip hop, but they love the line. Like, and I'm not trying to be your daddy or nothing, but the fact is that you seem to hear this message real clear when I rap, and now you older now, so you know your parents won't spank you, but cause you know the words to 50 Cent don't make you a gangster. Get in tune with yourself. I mean, there's so many different directions people can be led in just simply by words.
I know. I could listen to this the whole time. I don't even need to talk, right? Or we could just sit here and do you record?
Yes.
Do video? Do you have a podcast?
I do not.
Okay.
No, you should go to the studio, maybe put it on, something that I can listen to personally, whatever. Like,
yeah, spoken word podcast or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I appreciate you bringing me on, because I was like, I want to definitely see how this goes, whatever. Because I got, like I said, I got 2 sons that they learn from me, so they kind of following suit. Like, they're real good guys. I'm so proud of them. Yeah, for real.
And you could have them on. You could talk to your family, friends.
Yeah,
you could have people come on and share your story.
I have a huge family too.
It'd be endless.
There is so much talent. Like I said, my cousins played in NBA. Like, for real. My cousins played in the NFL. My auntie was a professional, R&B singer. Like, there's a whole family with they almost like a whole choir. They play every instrument. They sing any tune. There's a whole bunch of talent in my family. Yeah.
Nice.
It's great. So now you're in a position where you could give back to others fully.
Yeah.
Through that. And I just want to say that I think that's just fantastic. Like everything that you're doing and the unique way you're going about teaching others, it must be something that I think that you're going to be that it's going to be big.
Yeah.
I have a feeling like you have something about you, a talent, but also the way you seem to be formatting this program as it expands and as it grows. I think it really has something special.
Yeah. It
really does. Any way we could support you.
It's definitely there to get you to think for yourself, and I put it in different scenarios sometime. Like I talk about, being maybe like in 2nd grade, and you learn maybe like what a noun and a verb is, what's a noun, and we learn this like every year, like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, we go over the same thing but you got people that still don't want to answer the question, even though you know the answer. You still don't want to answer the question. It's like, okay, well, the people that do answer the question, they're going to go outside the classroom. It's like, well, why would they go outside the classroom? This one is the one that doesn't want to answer the question, but they're going outside the classroom because it's time for them to move on. If you want to sit here and continue like to be not answering the question, then yeah, you're going to stay right there. Mm-hmm. These people that know the answers, knowledge, these people that know the answer and they know what they're talking about, they move forward. Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that speaking up and saying the answer, not just keeping things in. Yes. Is that the point of that?
Absolutely,
so whatever fear or whatever, maybe things like that, the more you put out into the world, the more you express.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I say like a noun, whatever, because what's a noun? A noun is a person, place, and thing. A person, place, a thing, and everybody remembers this, like repetitive. We've learned this, but repetitively. Mm-hmm. So, but you're still not raising your hand to answer the question. You know the answer.
What's stopping somebody?
What is stopping you from answering the question? And that's the part I want to untap and their own brain. Like you shouldn't be afraid of what you know.
Right. Yeah. Or you shouldn't be afraid to say the answer and be afraid of what other people going to say and how they feel about you when you do answer.
Exactly. 100%. You're enhancing confidence. You're fueling
absolutely.
Confidence
absolutely
in a way that, and like anything else, if somebody's afraid of something and they do it, the more you do it, the easier it gets. I was not good at public speaking at all. I in the beginning I could really do well, and this isn't bragatory, like I'm comfortable with it. I enjoy it, putting together presentations and speaking, things like that, and I'm comfortable with it now. In the beginning I was working for a company, Semco, and they overhaul crew masts, slides, rafts, things like that for aircrafts. And I was in sales there. And I'll never forget, it was Delta Airlines. And it was really my first presentation. I had slides lined up and everything that I've ever done in that capacity. And I'm 2 slides. The CEO of the company I worked for was there too. His name was Rick. 2 slides, I froze. I couldn't speak. Like I was so nervous and I looked like such an idiot. And he kind of came up, he went through the rest of the presentation as best as he could. And after, I wanted to give up completely. I was so down. I want to do project management. I don't want to do sales anymore. But he encouraged me at that time. He said, you know what? Do it again. Practice more. We can do a practice. Try it again. And I didn't do it perfectly the next time, but I gave it another shot. And I tried. So it's really important for mentors, for people to be there to encourage others. If he wasn't saying, try it again, do this, try it slow, I most likely wouldn't have done it. I probably would have moved on and given up. And now I would consider myself a really good public speaker. So and when somebody sees something, I think that's natural. It's because that person, I think most of the time, has gotten through something, whether it be fear or they've been embarrassed and they put themselves on the line where they failed multiple times. So if people know how to fail and then you do that and keep moving forward, you realize that just like working out a muscle, that you beat up your muscle, gets sore, eventually you build that strength.
Practice. You gotta continue practicing, making yourself better. I was like,
repetition.
I mean, you think LeBron James don't still practice? Like he still practices to be a better basketball player. He's probably the best thing we ever going to see as a basketball player, but he's still practicing to be a better basketball player.
Yeah. So what you're doing is needed now, especially because it's in that fall stage. It's in that, like you mentioned before. So with kids now, especially being so confused with everything and it just being the type of world that we're in with everything that's, it's always the end of the world every 5 seconds. And, something like that, you need that. You do.
A little scare. Yeah, for real. Like,
especially in these,
like I said, you got a fear. That fear comes in you, then you either going to keep moving forward or you're going to get better at it. Like,
Right. But I think it's nice to throw up the middle finger to fear sometimes. Be like, I'm going to do this anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Tatum, again, thank you so much for coming on. I think definitely love to hear more in the future of your work. If you would like to come back, I'd love to have you come back on. Mark, what's your interpretation of all this? You know, it's very rare too that after somebody talks, I don't know what to say or anything like that. There were definitely a couple of times when you were speaking, and then after I didn't even know where to direct, or what to say. So I mean, you definitely have something, man. You're great, and I appreciate
that, man.
Absolutely,
dude.
What do you think?
Like I said, I'm still taking it all in.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more.
I'm definitely going to use those.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to use those.
That's why it's there.
You know, stop.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's there.
I'm using all of that. I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna literally go home tonight and write it down in my notebook.
Yeah, because once you get the website up, and you said no social media, right?
Yeah, I mean,
not yet.
Not much. Yeah.
Once that's up and running, let me know, and we'll announce it.
Okay.
On the show at some point.
All right.
Put that through, and have you come back.
Yep.
Yeah, look forward to more. Thanks again for coming. Really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Ride the Wave with Jeff and Mark. Thank you so much. Remember, if you like what you heard, please subscribe to all our social media channels and go to www.ridethewave.org to take a look at what we're really doing here, because it's not just a podcast. And pathways to the person, and take care. Thank you so much, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks everyone for joining us at the Wave Podcast. If you like the content and want to see more, please subscribe to all our social media platforms. They'll be listed below. See you next time.